We're going to explain how to fix the PyInstaller FileNotFoundError Errno 2, no such file or directory error. This frustrating error typically pops up when you're trying to create a standalone executable of your Python program using PyInstaller. It means that PyInstaller can't find a file or directory it needs to include in your executable. Let's break down the common causes and how to troubleshoot them. 1. Incorrect file paths. The most frequent culprit is an incorrect file path within your Python script. PyInstaller meticulously gathers all the necessary files and dependencies, but if your code references a file using a relative path that's not correctly interpreted within the bundled executable structure, you'll get this error. Always use absolute paths, starting from the root directory, for example. Write /users/yourname/document/myproject/myfile.txt, or paths relative to your script's location, ensuring they remain consistent when the script is packaged. Double-check every file path in your code, especially those related to images, data files, configuration files, or other external resources. 2. Missing dependencies. Your Python project might rely on external libraries or modules beyond the standard Python library. If PyInstaller doesn't detect these dependencies, it won't include them in the executable, leading to the FileNotFoundError. To address this, use the cursor hidden import option with PyInstaller to explicitly specify any hidden modules your project depends on. For example, if your project uses a module called my_secret_module, you'd run PyInstaller with PyInstaller, hidden import =, my_secret_module, your _script.py. Use collect submodules if you're uncertain about all the necessary submodules. If you're using a virtual environment, be sure to activate it before running PyInstaller. 3. Data files. If your program uses data files, like images, sounds, or configuration files, that aren't directly imported as Python modules, you need to tell PyInstaller to include them in the package. Use the cursor add data option. For instance, if you have a folder named data containing your extra files located in the same directory as your script, you would use PyInstaller add data, your _script.py. This copies the entire data folder into your executables directory, maintaining its structure. 4. Spec file issues. For more complex projects, creating a write_spec file offers fine-grained control over the build process. If you're using a write_spec file, meticulously review it to ensure that all your file paths, dependencies, and data files are correctly specified. Double-check for typos in the paths and the names of the modules. The write_spec file provides the most precise way to guide PyInstaller. 5. Incorrect working directory. The working directory of your packaged application might be different from what your script assumes. Ensure your relative paths are adjusted correctly within the bundled application's environment. Using absolute paths frequently eliminates this problem. 6. Antivirus interference. In rare cases, your antivirus software might interfere with PyInstaller's operation, preventing it from correctly accessing or writing files during the build process. Temporarily disabling your antivirus during the PyInstaller build process can sometimes resolve this unexpected issue. By carefully reviewing your code for correct file paths, explicitly including dependencies and data files using the appropriate PyInstaller options, and checking your write_spec file, if used, you'll significantly improve your chances of successfully packaging your Python application without encountering this common error. Remember to always test your standalone executable thoroughly after the creation process.